Okay, there it goes.
Oh, oops. Thank you for that. I
No
thought I
problem.
hit start. I must have hit practice session. Hey, everyone. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button and thought I had started our lunch and learn. Apologies for. We'll give everyone a few minutes to filter in here. We don't have any pre-submitted questions today. I will also let you know that there is a bit of a service outage in our office area, and I am hotspotting from my phone at the moment. So thanks shout out to Cox, even their business. That being said, it might be a little bit laggy today as I'm hotspotting to get this done. So apologies for that. But as always, you guys can use the raise hand, ask a question in Q&A, or ask in the chat, and we will go ahead and answer it. We don't have any pre-submitted questions today. All right, and go ahead, Alex. How are you today?
I'm well, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. I've got some pretty, I think, easy questions, but I just don't see documentation on them. The first one is, how do I delete an agent? When I get the right-click thing, the only thing that I see is delete folder.
Well, so that would be okay. Let's see here. So let's go create an agent. System admin, trainers, agents, add or register an agent, test agent 1. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see. Can I log into support and look at our agent? I will not actually delete it. Gotta say, my hotspot is working. Somehow my hotspot here is better than my hotspot at home. I am also out of internet at my house right now. I have been since Wednesday, and it's awful. I mean, it's just terrible.
Since Wednesday last week.
And for the weekend, wow, for like a family thing, but yeah, it's been a couple days. Okay, so you're actually right-clicking on one of these, like Decisions Azure DC. Yep. So you see Manage Delete Folder. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can have multiple agents inside of an agent folder.
Yeah.
So you can delete the client identity, which would be the agent. But so there's a couple unrelated things. You can. Oh, there are questions, John. Let me see if I can track those down. I'm sorry. Sabrina is out. Anyway, I'll get you in just a second. Apologies about that. Now we can't send a delete signal to the if that's your question. You have to actually log on to that server.
I'm having a tough time hearing you.
Oh, yeah, I knew this was going to happen.
You're kind of speaking every third word at this point.
Any difference? Am I back yet?
Still iffy.
I'm going to get off of this. How about now?
Okay, now it's good.
Good? Okay. So let's let me know if I break up again.
Yep.
We can't send a delete signal to the agent directly. So if the question is how do you delete a deployed agent, you have to go log into that server and use, add remove programs on Windows.
No, my question is more just how do I get rid of it out of Decisions? The client, my side on my network, I'm okay there. I just like I was expecting to kind of see like a delete agent kind of thing. But
right.
All I see is delete folder. So is delete folder the thing that does everything?
It is in our world. And so it owns the actual deployed agents or entities. And so yes, you can just use delete folder. We should make that say delete agent, but delete agent and delete folder are synonymous in this scenario here.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, how does Decisions pick up the IP address of the foreign server? Is it at the point where you actually log into Decisions from the foreign server and say download agent that it is able to pick up the IP address there?
Well, no, so when you deploy it, when you download an agent, it actually compiles code for you, and it knows the server it's a part of's like DNS name and IP address.
On your side?
Yeah, correct.
But how does it know about me?
Well, because as soon as the agent turns on, there's polling, and the agent reaches out to the host server to establish communication directly. So it's
Okay,
bi-directional communication.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect.
Because it knows the server it was generated from, and it uses that information to call out to. That's why if it can't make like outbound port 80 or 443 calls, it won't, from the server it's installed to, it won't be able to establish that connection, because it makes HTTP calls back to the decision server.
Okay, so then so for example, if I wanted to change the server that the agent is posted on my side, I would basically just go and install the agent somewhere else, and it would start chattering back up to the mother site.
You should then get 2 deployed agents in your agent folder, and then one of them would show as inactive, and you would want to delete that one, and then the other would be active. And
yeah, perfect.
Precedents and things like that.
Or I could go into the hosted site and basically just say, I think you showed something like delete registered agent or something like that.
Yeah, delete client identity is the action name. Yep,
right.
Exactly.
And then that basically gets rid of that relationship.
Correct.
And the relationship will reestablish itself once the decision agent gets installed elsewhere.
Correct. That's right. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Understood. Thank you very much.
Is that what you needed?
Yep, that's everything.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Alex. Great questions.
Thank you.
Can't get your questions up. If not, I might have to humbly request that you ask again, because Sabrina, who manages that for us, is out today, and I don't know we've put in a good plan. Let me see here to get that. I think as many people who have incredible people that work for them, I'm realizing how.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay,
I am on her.
I will be very short. So the question which I have is this: I have to upload the file on the SFTP server. It's a public one.
Okay.
Easy, because you have a lot of tools. Upload, you can do it. The only question which I have, and here I don't know, I'm confused a little bit, is you have options to upload an SSH key. You have this option in Decision. But the question is, where you build this SSH key? On my machine, doesn't matter where you build it. I will explain you why I'm thinking in this way. Workday platform, for example, they ask you to build the SSH key on their platform. And then, do you see the difference? If I build the SSH key with PuTTY on my machine, I am wondering, is that work? What do you think?
If you need, it would be on the application server for sure.
Yeah, but okay, I will explain you what to do. I will tell you the tool where you go, and you will see what I'm talking. You can go on forum, upload file with SFTP, FTP, but because you have Decision open, you can please go and upload by SFTP. There is it's a tool, it's an object. Now, if you go to upload to bus by SFTP, if you go there, you have options, host, port.
Yes.
You see, but then, then if you please check use certificate by exact, check this, check this box. Do you see?
Yes.
I believe this is the place where you should upload
Correct.
the private key because the public it's on the server. Let's say everything is done.
Hmm.
Okay, makes sense? You agree with me or?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay, so I upload the private key here, everything works. But where I build these SH keys, where? On my machine? Here is like,
Yeah, I don't, does it matter where you actually build them at?
doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters, no. Because we take this.
In Workday matter. In Workday platform matter. That's the reason why I am. But you say doesn't matter. Okay, fine. So I will build them on my machine.
Yes, and then upload here, correct.
Perfect. Okay, this is the first question. Do
Okay.
I need administrative privileges? I am only designer and
No.
do you think I can do it without administrator? In theory, yes.
Yes, correct.
Unless I have all privileges to access the SFTP, I don't need anything else. I mean, I will build a key and I will do my job. I mean, okay, that's one question. The second one, so I understood. I don't need the admin privileges and I will build the key on my machine and then upload the private here. I will do everything on SFTP. I mean, put the public there and so on. And then everything should work. I know all these other steps. So thank you very much for this.
Okay.
The second question, I have some hard time. And I mentioned in my question, what's happened? I have a form, easy. Okay, it's a form there. You have a field on the form and the data name of the field is it's provided by a output flow. It's very common. Many times you have an output flow which is coming and data name it's field. Now, what's happened? If the output flow came into the data name of the field, most of the time, this is happening to me, the field disappear in the output list of the form when the form is in the flow.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You are with me?
Yes.
That's the problem here. So what does it mean? Downstream, I cannot use that field, which is embarrassed. Why? Because it doesn't show up in the output.
Sure. Let's see here really quick. Let's see if we can't. I see what you're saying, John. Let me get this built and then let's talk about this example.
Yeah. And I so what I do, I will tell you, I used to, somebody from your team teach me to use, to put a static name and save and do something manually. But trust me, it doesn't work. I don't know. I believe I still miss something because it doesn't work all the time. So I said, is there a easiest way or? But it's take you too much time until you build the flow and so on. So that's the only concern which I have.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to build a form, put a button, and I'm going to put a text box name. This will be, I'll call this from data flow.
Yeah. So you build the data flow, you put the data flow in the data name.
Let's say, so right now, if I look, I can pass the from data flow into my pop-up. Okay, save this. All right, then we'll edit the form. Now I'm on 7, so I'll have to come down to legacy here, and I'll add a data flow. This will be called populate text box. I'll create one. Form data flow. Yep, create. And I'll just pass out a single static string, which will be called output. And then on output, I'll do a text. I'll just do constant and put in hello world. Okay. And I will click update inputs. I'll find flow : output. And then I will run it startup and I'll come to data flow here and I'll change its name to flow output.
Okay. Yeah.
We're on the same page so far?
Yes.
Right. Now, if I look at Data Explorer, okay, flow output does show here. What version are you running right now?
I think it's 6. I don't have this version.
Okay, this might be different in 7. Let's make sure it flows through. Okay, so that flows through fine.
Alex is in the same situation. Do you see? Alex, he just posted and he said
I have
that
the
he has
same
the
issue
same
in
issue.
6.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm not alone.
Okay, I don't think I'm gonna be able to connect to a 6x server. Let's see, GA test. I can't ping GA test. Can I connect to VPN?
Hey, Will,
Yeah.
I have a 6 for my local.
Oh, Tyler, can you share then and see if you
Yeah.
can't and do the same exact thing I just set up here? I'll stop my share if you can, sir. That'd be great.
Second, let me close some windows down. I was multitasking.
So what I understood from you, the version also counted in this, which, okay, but I know we have 6 as far as I remember.
Yeah, there might be an issue in 6. So I think we can sort that out. We'll get Tyler to build it here really quickly and we'll see.
Make sure my 6 can log in. Can you see my screen? It should be the 6 login
Yep.
screen.
Yeah, we can see it. Okay, Jackie Thompson's saying the same thing. I wonder if I think it might just be the name format that it says like flow : output name. And if we just change, my thinking is if we just change the format of the name so it doesn't have flow : it'll behave differently, but we'll need to see here in just a second if that's true or not.
Okay, I'm on version 6.15.
Well, we'll know if it works here that there's some sort of regression that has occurred, so.
Mhm. Sorry, it's been a while since I've been in 6. So okay, Will, can you walk me through what you're building?
Just make a output, single output, and just make like a static string as your output. Yep. Then save it and close. And then update inputs, and then copy your output, just the data name, and then replace your data name on your text box with that output name.
Mhm.
You might need to click run at startup to get it to load the data. So paste that in. And then go back to your data flow, set it to run at startup. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Map, what did that just say? And then go ahead and just put like a pop-up or something behind it. Just so we can see it being used downstream. Make output data as forms output. That's interesting. I've never seen that property before. Okay, and then go ahead and debug that. Okay. Okay, that works. So we're missing something in our scenario here. So you're saying that, John, if you did this, that data wouldn't be available to use at all?
It's not be if you do this, the field will disappear from the output list of the form. If you go back into the flow to the output list of the form, you will find that here is the button. Okay, we are not looking for the button. I'm looking for the field. Where is the field?
Okay, why don't you do this? Close the flow and come back in. Sometimes it can.
You get the point. This is a button. Where is the field?
Well, what the button is your outcome path, right? That's expected.
Okay.
Your button is synonymous with outcome path.
Okay.
So this is working on 615 at least.
So like if I change this to close or submit, and then I add another button that says cancel, and then save, and then make sure my text box is only on submit. It's not used on cancel. What you'll see right here is on my form. Save and refresh. It's right here. It only comes out in the submit path, not on the actual cancel path, even though I have two paths coming from my form.
No, I understood. The only difference between me and you is that never I use a button as the output. I mean, I use a text box or something like this.
Yeah. So, but you have to submit the form.
Oh, you have.
You
are right. You are right. Everything is fine. Yes. I get it. Yeah. Sorry. Forgive me. I don't understand. My version is 17, by the way. I believe I am the lowest one in all this group.
Okay. Yeah, I think, John, we probably need to track this as a support issue and understand what it specifically is missing. Since we can't get you to share your screen with us.
Okay, leave as it is. I understood, but that's the challenge which I have. In the moment when the field, exactly what you did now, the field will disappear, and the problem here is I cannot use it on the downstream, which is very bad. I mean,
yeah,
okay,
correct.
Thank you very much, sir.
What I think, if you look at Alex's suggestion, that's what I would try next, which is just to modify the data name. So if you notice Tyler's, it's flow : name. Just get rid of the flow : and see if that has any behavior change for you. So in the actual data name from can you edit the data flow again, Tyler? So if you go into the data flow, John, this is what it's worth a shot, and edit the output and change the name here to STR or whatever.
I see.
Right? And then you'll have to go remap the text box to test. That probably, I think, but don't know with certainty, that'll fix your mapping issue.
I understand. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, I understood.
You shouldn't have to do that. Clearly, we're seeing some differences here that are unclear to us in the moment, but I think that will work for you in the short term.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anything else from you?
Not now. No. If there is time, perhaps I will come with one more question, but I will want to leave other people to maybe they waiting in line, so I want to be polite with them.
Okay. Let's see. And Tyler, you can go ahead and kill your share if you'd like. Thank you for testing that on 6, sir. All right, let me get myself set back up here. QA, chat, and participant list. All right, Alex, do you have here? Alex, did you have another question, or is your hand still up?
No, I just actually wanted to comment on that changing the data name to str and the output variable to str should break it.
Make it not output?
Yeah. So I mean,
okay.
that's
right.
Look, I've been through this with it's been a long time ago, and with support, but someone on the support channel said that the output of a flow cannot be the same as a data name.
I know that's the case for inputs. I didn't know that was the case for output.
And so, I mean, and again, like it's all kind of fuzzy because it was quite a long time ago, but there was something about using a form variable to manage that.
Yes, yes, I know. I know that that's the case for inputs. We made the determination that we should hide some of those things. Come back in my flow here. Yeah, at least on 7, I can see this working as I would expect, where no matter what the name is, I see it as an output.
Okay.
Now, one of the things I did notice, and I'll be transparent, I don't know what this does, is I'm not sure. It looks like there's a setting here, make output data as forms output, which might be meaningful as well. I don't know if this is on 6 when Tyler was just screen sharing. And I think this gives you an output for this data flow automatically instead of needing some like hidden text box type stuff, which is what we've seen some people do to make the output of a data flow be able to pass downstream. So
okay, that was just my comment.
Sure thing. Thanks. Thank you for that. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Or if not, we'll toss it back to John. And you guys don't have to text or type anything. You feel free to just use the raise hand function. Okay, John, I think that's your sign that you're free to ask additional questions, sir. No one else has got anything else for us today, it appears.
1 second, Will. I want to confirm that option is available in 6. Make output data as forms output is available in 6.15.
Okay, wonderful. Doesn't really answer. Something's obviously going on if people are saying they're missing their outputs. But I think given that we can't recreate it, and we probably should handle that as a support issue.
Okay. The question which I have for you is this. One thing bothered me is when you send, I have 2 forms. The users are part of the decision. The system works fine. I mean, it's clear. I want to send a reminder notification, and I know how to do it. It's easy. It's not a big deal. I mean, I can set up in the form, in the flow. I can say, you can send the reminder after a couple of days or whatever. The challenge which I have is I send an invitation, let's say, to somebody outside of the decision. Now, the problem here is I don't know how to send a reminder. I will explain you why. It's because I know I can send after 1 or 2, 3 days. It's not a big deal, but how should I know if that guy responds or not? Again, the other user, the guy which I send the invitation, it's outside. So it's a guest. So the question, the very clear question is this: how you know that person responded? What you use, what mechanism you use?
So I'm creating a guest assignment for someone.
Okay.
Right. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I'm creating a guest assignment and that person is replying to the email?
Exact. No, it's replying to the invitation.
Are they clicking a button?
Yes, no, they will get an URL in their email box. They will get an URL in email box. They click the URL. They will be right away. They will be brought into the tenant right away. Even if they are guests, it's possible, you know. The point is, sometimes this guy does not respond.
Yes.
So I want to have a mechanism in place which allow me to send a reminder after a couple of days and say, hey, you didn't answer what you are doing. How to do it? Because I don't know how the system knows he replied or not.
I see. So in this case, you're going to have to fabricate a data store to be able to get what you're after here. There's nothing in the system directly that'll give that to you. So, but what you have is, here's an example of how you could go about doing that. I am going to create a new place to work at here. This is an interesting one. Thank you for this question. this is a perfect lunch and learn question, John. Thank you. So this is going to be guest assignment response tracker. Now I'm just going to create an assignment for an administrator because I don't go through all the guest setup. So just bear with me. So I'm going to create a new flow here. In this flow, I'm going to put a form. I'm going to create that form with just a single button. With no other context. Actually, I guess I need a, never mind. I'm going to create this, and then I'm going to make this form assigned, and I'll assign this to administrators, but we can substitute guest here. It makes no difference to this example.
But
Okay.
there is a difference. There is
Well,
a
but-
difference.
I know,
There is
just
one.
bear with me, and then once I get the scenario set up, you'll see if we're far apart at all here. And so this is a flow now that I can create an assignment. Now I can come to email, right? And in my email, I can build a custom email. But what I can edit my default notification. But what I'm going to do, which is what the guest assignment shows you to do, is use this on step run flow. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
And I'm going to
This is
create a
what I'm
private.
doing.
Absolutely, yeah, understood. I'm going to create a private flow here. Now this flow has my send email step in it right now, probably, right?
Yes.
Now you're fabricating the URL. So I'm going to send an email from admin@decisions.com to myself. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to leave this for now. I'm going to go create a data type for myself. I'm going to come back into my designer folder. I want to create something that is going to let me check if they've clicked my URL or not. And what I'm going to do is create a database structure, which is our simplest database persistent type. And this will be called, I don't know, guest response tracker or something like that. And this thing is going to have probably the email address of the person I send it to, and then the assignment ID of the assignment it's related to. And then probably, I guess, status or state. Let's just do those two things, or those three properties.
Perhaps
I'm
you
gonna
need the timestamp too.
Sure. We can add that, sure, why not? Or created time or something. Okay, we'll go ahead and create that. Now, what I'm gonna do is, now the URL they're clicking is a decisions flow, right? You have a different flow that they click on and run.
Yes, it's decision. I didn't build it. It's decision made up.
Would
It's an
clarify what you mean by?
assignment ID URL. Do you know?
Oh, to open the assigned form.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I might change my process here, but here's what I'm going to do, and let's just get this to work, and then we can talk about the details. In my start flow, I'm actually going to create a record of that type I just created. So here I am, user-defined types, database structures, guest response tracker. I'm going to create. Now I'm in this flow already, so I can do build data, and created time will be current date time. Email address I will get from, I'm just going to select like the flow data initiating user, but you would pass this in, right? Let's just assume you know where to get that from. The state will be, invite sent, which will be our default state, whatever that might be. And then I'm going to pull the assignment ID from the assignment object available in the private flow here. So what this means, and then in my, so you're actually passing the assignment URL into the body. So come down here to merge plain text, and we'll say, thanks for stuff. Click this link for more stuff. And then I'll put in here my form assignment URL. This is what you're using?
Yes.
Okay. So what I can do then is, if I run that flow, now I'll get my assignment, but what I'm going to quickly do just to see what I have, if I create a report here, I'll find my data type, which is user defined database structures, guest response tracker, and I'll put email address, created time, assignment ID, and state. So here's the record I just created. I have the assignment ID, right? What I could do, if you're actually, so what you're, now if I sent myself that email. Sorry, let me see if I'm trying to find that email. No. I bet it's not going to work because I'm hotspotting. Stink. But either way, what I now have, if you look at this report, I have that record,
Yes.
right? And so your question is, how do you want to use like warned late, escalate behaviors on the assignment to let them know if they haven't selected if they haven't responded yet, right?
Yes.
So what you could do is, well, the assignment is, well, don't they have to complete the assignment? If they complete the assignment through the URL, that means the assignment's not current anymore, which means the warn and late flows won't work, right?
It's not complete. There are many stages, but one of the stage, you are correct. One of the stage when the examiner click on the form is yes, the stage will be different. You are correct. I have many stage. One of them is when the signer push the form, I mean send it. And that moment I get another stage like examiner reviewed or something. But what I can do is eventually track the email. I don't know. I mean, I have the database. I have the email in the database. Now I have to look to see if the email came back. Now, question is where, how to do it? Because once I know how to catch the email back, I can check against the database and I will say, okay, he didn't answer.
But you're not getting an email back in this example, right?
Oh, no, you are right. I don't. You are correct.
How about this?
You are correct. Yes, you are correct.
My example is going to be how to show if they've opened the form or not, and maybe that will inform an option here.
Perfect.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create on my form a data flow here. Again, I'm on 7, so I'm going to legacy data flows, and I'm going to say update, response record. And I'm going to pick or create flow. I'm going to create a data flow. And I'm going to find a fetch entity step. And on this, I'm going to find my type, which was guest response tracker. I'm going to find my guest response tracker record by assignment ID. Shoot. Does this have the assignment ID? The form doesn't have the assignment ID. Crap. My idea just fell apart really quick. 1 second. Let me think about what I'm doing here. I don't have the assignment ID, but I do have the flow. Okay, I do have the flow tracking ID, right? Data Explorer, flow data, initiate, does a flow. I mean, what do I get for flow tracking ID? Sorry, I'm just gonna have to, I might.
So don't worry if you don't have an answer now, Peterson, yeah, this is your name. If you don't have an answer, you don't have to. My advice is take your time. And the only thing which I'm concerned is, I mean, you have to understand very well what I try to say, and I'm sure you will find a way. So don't worry, don't take your break. You can send me an email. You know my email. You can send me and say, hey, this is the way how you should do. And it will be great. You don't have to do anything now. Trust me.
Sure.
It's not how to sign. It's not the end of the world. It's not, but I'm dealing with this and I have to find a solution. That's it.
Yeah. So, no, understood. Just give me one moment. I want to just try something. I think I might have something here. I'm just going to test it really quick. Just a moment here.
So
first.
that's the problem. I send outside the guy's guest. He is not in decision, because
Yep.
if it would have been in decision, it's more easier, but it's
Correct.
outside. So, okay,
Yep.
how should I know if he reply or not? To send a remind notification. That's the challenge here.
What just happened? Where did my data flow just go? Oh God. Okay, nothing there. Run it. Start. Just trying something here. Let me see. Run this. That didn't work. I might have to take your advice here, John, and come up with
Okay, yeah,
a more
close,
thoughtful
close.
scenario for
So
you.
I will please, do you have my email address?
Yes, yes, we do.
You have. So please, when you feel free on when you have some ideas, just let me know. I
Sure thing, we'll
appreciate a
do.
lot.
Yeah, we'll do, absolutely.
Thank you very well for your advices and for your help.
Okay, anybody else have any other questions as we put a pause to that particular ask? No? Okay, we'll go ahead and call it a day then. John will follow up on email. Thanks everyone for your time. We will, I think Morgan is in tomorrow. Don't quote me on that. We will see you tomorrow if you have questions. Thanks everyone. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.